Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hope you can hear me over the light breeze that we've got here today in Spain. Reporting here from Spain, avid gardener. Right, I've been having some thoughts about this Colombia trip that Meghan and Harry apparently are going to do. I've heard they're going there on Thursday. Now, I was thinking from a security point of view, it's a logistical nightmare, really, isn't it? And very expensive. I saw somewhere that apparently the Colombian government are going to foot the bill. I don't know if that is accurate. I would imagine these kind of situations are quite complicated, aren't they? But it is strange how they can visit countries like Jamaica. Not that I'm dissing Jamaica, I'd love to go to Jamaica, and Colombia, and I'm not dissing Colombia either, but the suggestion that the United Kingdom is the most dangerous place in the world. To a lot of people it may appear that it has been that way over the last couple of weeks, but I'm certain it is not. As you all know, well, a lot of you know, we were in London for a couple of months last year, and I was wandering the streets of London in the middle of the early hours of the morning because I couldn't sleep. And really everybody goes to bed. I mean, there was hardly any sign of life. Yes, they have protests all the time. It's like a full-time thing in London. Protesting this, protesting that, protesting the other. I mean, I couldn't keep up with the different protests every day, it seemed, because we were really close to Whitehall, and that's where they all like to go. They like to go over Westminster Bridge and then hook it to Whitehall. Well, anyway, so I've been watching the most amazing and well, it's just gorgeous photography, nature documentary here on YouTube, which is completely free. I shall put a link in the description. It's about an hour and a half long, and they're wonderful wildlife photography. I would go as far as to say better than Sir David Attenborough's BBC documentaries that he's done in the past. It's just lovely. The hummingbirds, I mean, the colours of them. Jaguars, condors, and they sort of show and try and explain the ecology of the place and, you know, how it all works. Of course, there could be another plan afoot, right? This is just my, it's just a sense of humour, okay? This is a joke. It's a joke. I know Meghan, of course, is not going to do anything like that, but, Harry could get kidnapped, couldn't he? By, I don't know who. I don't like to use the word gorilla. Well, I'm going to have to, because, not gorilla as in a monkey. Gorilla as in soldiers. Of course, Colombia's got a certain reputation. I did look up the trade of cocaine, and apparently it's something like $12.8 billion. I don't know if that's American dollars. So there is still a big trade. What was that guy called? Pablo Escobar? Of course, he's dead now. But I've seen films about, I know they're only fictitious, about people being kidnapped and taken off into the jungle. I know it was Bolivia, but I've been watching that Daniel Radcliffe film. Has anyone else seen it? Called Jungle. Oh, it's awesome. I love that film. I like watching it in the dark downstairs and to be really close up against the TV and all the hallucinations he's having and getting himself stung by all the fire ants and stuff. And at the very end, I mean, it's based on a true story, apparently. I don't know how accurate it is at the end, but I mean, basically the poor guy's covered in mud and his mate comes to rescue him, and he ironically lands on the beach where the guy is, but he can't see him because he's sort of covered in mud and he blends in. So he goes off on the boat, and Daniel Radcliffe sort of stands up all in a weakened condition and says, "Kevin!" And the guy comes back for him. Can you imagine Harry? Months and months in the jungle with the fire ants, and of course that was Bolivia, I believe, but this is Colombia. But I should imagine the territory's the same, if not harsher. And of course there was that film, wasn't there? It's one of my least favourite films, actually, because I don't like flying. And another one I don't know if you guys have seen, it's called Alive, and I think that was in the Andes, wasn't it? The airplane crashed in the Andes, and it's just horrific. And for some reason, every time I have to fly, that film comes up on the telly. Every time, the night before. It's like God's little joke. at me, and I think, oh no, not alive again. And they're all there, sucking snow, cannibalism, stuff like that. And then a group of them go off down the mountain, which quite frankly I'd have done from the beginning. I wouldn't have needed any persuasion, but they go off down the mountain and they've got like baby shoes, and one's got a shoe and the other's, the one going off to get the rescue, he's got a shoe. And there's some discussion about when the two shoes come back together, we will be alive. Can you imagine Harry, one of Archie or Lilibet's shoes? Meghan, when these two shoes come back together, we shall be alive. Yeah, Harry, I'm coming back for you, don't worry. No, in all sincerity, it would be tragic for Meghan to lose Harry to kidnappers. Well, she'd keep the title for a start, unless she remarried. And, I do hope you can hear me over this wind. It is a fabulous wind, though. She'd keep all the money, wouldn't she? She could do loads of interviews with Oprah about the trauma of it all. She could write books about it. Personally, I'm waiting for her cooking show to come out, because I did get the Meghan wig out. I gave it a good brush the other night. A lot of hairs came out, but I got it quite silky, like it was when I first bought it. And I'm waiting for her cooking show to come out. And when we're back in the house, you can bet there's going to be a parody on that. I was going to do the car park one, but I mean, how many things can you do in a car park? Meghan seems to perpetually hang around in car parks. So it'll be interesting to see, won't it? I'm sure all will be well, and they will both come. They'll go there. And she's going to wear many shades of beige, probably really inappropriate outfits. I don't suppose they're going to be that shocked down there by skimpy clothing, so she'll probably wear a beige woolen coat in the heat or something like that, and gigantic trousers, bound to, isn't she? Or she'll go to the other extreme of those little shorts that stick out like a lampshade, and do her legs no favours at all. And they'll go round and they'll go to various places. There's talk that the Colombian government are manipulating and using them as some sort of PR drive. Well, as I said before, they've got to be the last dickheads in town, haven't they? Not to realise that these two are brand crushers. They decimate people's reputations. So the entire country of Colombia had better get a grip of itself, or it could feature on the next South Park episode, couldn't it? Oh, that breeze. That is fantastic. So, yeah, many shades of beige, many doodahs about nothing, I suppose. But, well, anything can happen. I mean, anyone who's ever worked in royal security, I'm sure their worst nightmare is losing the principal, in some manner, shape or other, or something happening to the principal. Can you imagine world headlines? Where's Harry? Harry's up in the mountains somewhere. He's probably agreed to go along with it because it's got America in the title, and he thinks it's South America's probably part of the States. Perfectly safe. Daft as a brick, isn't he? And Meghan, I mean, I can't understand what they're doing. I mean, what will be the next country to take the hit? They do choose extraordinary destinations. Were they invited? Has this been organised by WME? Ari Emanuel. Is Ari Emanuel even connected to them? I mean, is the guy actually going to come out and say yes or no or whatever? So I think it's going to be quite a high risk from a security point of view. I think it will be high risk because apparently the lady, I don't know if she's the Prime Minister or the Deputy Prime Minister or what she is, but there's a lady there and apparently she's had a lot of threats on her life. So she gets helicopters everywhere, apparently. Because it's safer than getting a taxi. But then she's been criticised, apparently, for getting helicopters everywhere. And people are saying, she's really enjoying life in office and she's got all this money now. She's a bit of a helicopter queen. So she's had threats on her life. I think that the dude in charge of Colombia, I suppose that's normal anyway. I mean, show me a government where they don't get threats on their lives. It happens all over the place. Of course, in the States. There have been presidents assassinated, and obviously the most recent attempt on Donald Trump. So, there are risks wherever you go, apart from, the United Kingdom. I don't think we've ever had a Prime Minister assassinated, actually. I can't think of one. Maybe we have, but I don't think so. They normally get voted out of office, and that's the end of the matter. It is strange. I mean, what a lie, Harry's saying that, and everyone knows that when he goes to the UK, he will get security. They've just said that they need a bit of notice, and then they will plan it on an as and when basis. I mean, talk about making a mountain out of a molehill and then going off to places like Jamaica and Colombia. Well, it will be interesting, won't it? I'm not looking forward to seeing what Meghan wears, because she just wears beige all the time, just beige. Moaning, saying she had to wear beige in the royal family, which she didn't. Birkenhead, for example, red and purple. Let's not talk about Birkenhead. Whoopsie doodle. But then she leaves the royal family, complains she had to wear beige, and then does nothing but wear beige. She's not all there in the head, is she? Or she forgets. She forgets what she said before that wasn't quite accurate. Let's put it that way. Let's not accuse her of outright lying, shall we? So anyway, Harry's attempted kidnap. There could be some Pablo Escobar II or something out there planning right now. Now, he could ask for a king's ransom, couldn't he, for a prince of the realm, even a dodgy one like that. Although a lot of people might say, I hope they both get kidnapped, and we're definitely not going to pay the ransom. They can keep them. And you can believe it, they'll hand them back soon enough. Certainly Meghan. How long would they put up with her complaining and complaining and complaining about everything? They'd be like, oh, goodness sake, get rid of this woman. Hand her back. But yes, I mean, it could end up being a ransom like that, being even better than a divorce settlement. I'm only joking, Meghan. Of course, I know you're not going to do anything like that. He's the father of your children, isn't he? Anyway. Love to hear your thoughts, opinions, theories on what on earth, what the hell this is all about, this Colombia thing. As always, thank you very much for listening.